Exactly months ago, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett convinced 38 of the top billionaires in the US, the American billionaires, to contribute 50% or more of their fortune to charities, to philanthropy. They worked hard. They worked 1 year on that. I mean, those are powerful people, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. You heard the names? Okay? So Warren Buffett and Bill Gates worked on this for a year to get 38 more billionaires in the States to contribute half or more, to commit to contribute half or more of their fortune to philanthropic causes. They generated in this meeting with those 38 people 90 billion, milliard in Dutch, $90 billion. That's a lot of money for the good causes, for the right causes, in the right hands. Okay, in the right hands. And that's something that only entrepreneurs can do. No one of those 38 is an employee. No one of them inherited it. All of them worked hard for it to get it. They made so much money, they cannot eat that amount of money. You need to realize that at one point you make enough money that you don't need more than that. How many of you saw my blog about Warren Buffett? It was, I think, 2 weeks ago. Okay, those of you that didn't, please go and read that. Warren Buffett, for those of you that don't know, he used to be the richest person in the world for a while, but now he's the third richest person in the world. He's an investor. He's buying companies or parts of companies, and he's doing very, very, very well. Today, he's going to be this year, I think, 80, and he's still working every single day. And he started from nothing, and he built up himself, and Bill Gates convinced him a few years ago to contribute, I think, almost all of his fortune for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Now, this guy doesn't have what to do with the money. I mean, what do you do with billions and billions of dollars? I mean, you cannot eat it. You cannot live in that. How many boats can you have at the end, you know? How many? Now, this guy, just that you know, the salary that he takes from the company is $100,000 a year. That's 80,000 euros, okay? For a person that makes many, many, many billions, he doesn't need more than that. He doesn't have a private jet. He owns the biggest private jet company in the world. But he doesn't have a private jet for himself. He drives his own car. He's 80 years old, and he says in his book, if you read his book, he really scares people shit when he drives. And he takes the people, every guest that comes to him for business or whatever, he brings them from the airport. He picks them up in the airport. And people are trying to convince him, no, I will come to your office. He lives in the same house that he bought with his wife 35 years ago, when he wasn't that rich. He's living in the same house. The man has the money, but he cannot eat all of it. So what do you do with that money? You find a way to give. You find a way to contribute. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is what you should do, but I'm suggesting that this is the direction you will go. I want you to live the good life, have the lifestyle that you want, have whatever you want in your life, but I want you to be so successful that you will have some extra to be able to give it to whoever needs that. Bill Gates took all of his money and put it in Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He quit Microsoft, he quit from working in Microsoft a few years ago, and now he quit totally. And he spends all his time running the foundation. Now he's one of the top business people in the world, and he's running a foundation with a lot of money. How does he run it? Like a business, with his wife. But he runs the business. He runs it like a business. Now, it's a very hush-hush operation, this whole Bill and Melinda Gates, but we had some inside information from somebody that was in a meeting with them. It's a strategic meeting like Microsoft. When they're deciding to take a certain amount of money and spending in a certain country, they're looking for how can they make the most impact on most people the fastest. Sounds like Microsoft? Exactly. Okay? This guy decided a few years ago that by the year 2015, we need to eradicate malaria. Okay? The UN decided 40 years ago or something like that, the same date. He just chose the same date. Now, the UN has their resources and people and everything, and they're working on that for almost 40 years. Bill Gates worked on that for about 2 years. 2015 comes very close. Do you think that there will be malaria by the year 2015? Probably not. Who is going to eradicate it? Bill Gates or the UN? Probably Bill Gates. What is Oprah Winfrey busy with? She has more money than she can eat. What is she busy with? Education. Education. Why? Because education will make sure that for the next generation we'll still have a planet and people could eat. It's not the food that will make sure, it's the education. Now, you might think, oh, all those people that are, they are huge and big and I will never get there. You will. You don't have to get to that level. Okay? When we became financially free, Verd and me, about 5 years ago, we had enough money to live so we don't need to work ever. That's what financially free means. Okay? We didn't stop working. We didn't cut down the hours that we're working. Okay? Same amount of hours. And again, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett working the same hours. Why do they go to work every day? Why? Because they like to work, maybe. I think that it's making a difference and a contribution. I mean, part of it, it's fun. I mean, I'm sure that for Bill Gates to see the numbers going up every time, it's really fun. I'm sure it is, okay? Because that's how he keeps scoring the game, and he has a game, and he's on top of the game, and it's nice to see all those numbers. However, I still think that going every day to work is not just for the numbers. I cannot do anything anymore with that. But it is to make a difference. So when Verd and me became financially free, it wasn't even a question in our mind, do we want to work less or whatever it is. We're still working, but we can work a little bit different. We can do more events like that when we don't have to get paid for that. So, we make a difference in a lot of people's life. Yeah, we hope that a few of you will come, and actually we hope that all of you will come and continue with us, not because of the money, but because where we're taking you, which I'll talk about it later. But we also can do other things. So when we adopted this school in Uganda that I mentioned before, and it's a very special school for girls that teaches them leadership, rural leadership. And what happened was that we had money. And part of the financial freedom course is teaching you that you need to give some of the money when you have it. And we didn't know what to do with it, because before we didn't. We didn't have money, so we didn't give money. We gave a lot of energy, we gave a lot of other things, but not money, because we didn't have it. But when we became financially free, we started to give it, and we didn't know where to put the money. We didn't know any charity that would be good enough. I hate charities. I don't know. I know that some of you are coming here from charities, but I hate charities. I think that most of the money is being wasted on the administration of the charity than on actually helping. And most of the charities are not helping really because they're giving solutions instead of giving the empowerment. That's my point. Again, you don't have to agree with that. So we were looking for that. We didn't know how to do that. So we contacted the Triodos Bank. I didn't know anything about it, but one of our students, she's a director there, and she told us about it, and I was totally impressed with what they're doing. For those of you that don't know the Triodos Bank, or maybe the people that are outside of the Netherlands, it's a green bank, and they mainly focus, not only, but mainly focus on microfinancing. So they put small loans for, small, women that are working in Bangladesh and, India and places like that. And I liked their vision, and we contacted the head of the department that is spending their money on, or putting their money in project. And we have the meeting, and we said, listen, we have our own money, but we have also our students that are very willing to contribute, especially in this course when we teach you about that. So where should we put the money? And we told them our criteria is that it needs to fit with our vision, which means empowering people to create a better world. So they came up with this project of education, which is a little school in Uganda, 200 people, and they teach those girls from the age of, I think, 6 to 18, how to become leaders in their community. And we would give money every month to that project, and we would collect from our students many times, and that was nice. Sometimes when you're late, you're helping them to grow. But at one point we realized that's not enough. Money is, when you have it, it's kind of easy. It's the easiest resource, right? When you have it, when you don't have it, that's the most expensive resource. But when you have it, it's the cheapest resource. What is more expensive then? Time. So we decided that we need to spend also some of our time there. Now, what we did is that Verd and another one of our trainers left to Uganda for a couple of weeks, and we're spending time there with the kids, with the girls, and with the teachers of the university or whatever, and spend time teaching them the material that we're teaching you, the material from the book, for example, the how to set goals, and help them just by spending the time. We could do that because we were financially free and we didn't need the money. If I needed Verd and another trainer being here, we couldn't afford that. But we could do that, just go for 2 weeks and do that because we didn't need to. Is that making sense? So it's not just about money, it's about that when you're financially free, you have more time.